Welcome, you have reached Imperial Reviews, and today's review is Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 3. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So this episode, not too much went on, but it did push the story forward. The episode pretty much starts off with Unique rolling up on the Asian couple that was running the drugs out of the Chinese shop. He rolls up on them and pretty much guns them down, takes all the product and the money, and it just shows them their love for one another. They died pretty much tapping each other's head um, next to each other. From there, it showed Kanan meeting up with his grandma. You know, she's been diagnosed with cancer, and he's pretty much telling her, like, you know, as a family, we need, you should tell, you know, your children, you got to tell your kids or whatever. And, you know, she kind of agreed with him, like, she going to have a dinner and let, so that she could tell the kids what's going on. From there, you had Juke, you know, she's back home, she AWOL. A lot of people that I watch, like, their reviews, they miss the fact that Juke AWOL. The fact that she AWOL, like, she just left, but she did AWOL, and the military, they came to question her, and she pretty much was like early entry release, and they wasn't trying to give her that. But then once she said she was gay, they pretty much had to talk amongst each other and pretty much said, you know, they need to let her go because they're not trying to deal with gays in the military and stuff like that. So from there, you had Lou was at his house, and B-Rilla pretty much stayed there. He don't got nowhere to go, and he's cramping Lou's style. So Lou pretty much telling him, listen, we need to go to the label exec and get him to front us some money so that you get a place to stay. From there, you had Marvin go. He finally goes to the Chinese restaurant and finds out that they were gunned down. He goes and tell Rock. So she pretty much told him, go to the streets and find out what you need to find out. At that moment, it goes to Unique coming out of the building, and Crystal sees him, and then she was like, you could at least say excuse me. And so then Unique turned around and looked at her. Of course, she seen his face, and she was frightened, of course. So from there, you had Rock meeting up with the old Asian guy who is this who put her on to his people, and his family was just killed. But she pretty much telling him, like, yo, we're married and we in this together for, you know, for the good and the bad times. And she pretty much told him, like, you know too much information, so we in this for the long haul. And if, you know, we was the part basically threatening him, she had to get rid of him because he knows too much about her operation. So it goes to Crystal telling Kanan about who she's seen, pretty much telling Kanan, look, you can't stay in here. You need to consider getting a new apartment. Basically, don't work out of where you live at. And he does finally listen, but that's what she was trying to explain. So then it shows Lou. He meets up with the record exec. I keep saying record exec because I really don't know his name. I don't even. And then the record exec, pretty much, the record exec and B-Rilla was going back and forth. And once they was going back and forth, he was telling B-Rilla and Lou his story on how his family, you know, they weren't like when they first came into America and everything like that. So he gave his story hoping that he reach B Rilla, but of course B Rilla was just ignorant the whole time, and but he still said he'd write him a check. It went to Rock. From there, it went to Rock, and Rock was pretty much she seen a letter from Kanan's school, and then you find out by the end of the episode that it's basically saying Kanan hasn't went to school all year since the beginning of the year, and she kind of mentioned to Kanan like um, this is his guardian, like how they was on Kanan, but Kanan don't live with her. Kanan got his own apartment, so she brought up this conversation with Kanan, like basically like you said you would go to college, and she looked at Kanan pretty much like Kanan looked at her pretty much, no, you wanted to go to college, not me. So then it shows Juke. She signed up for a community college. She runs into some of her old crew members that they used to steal clothes and go sell them and stuff. She ran into them. They in community college. Pretty much tells Juke, yo, you need to meet up. Come see some of the meet up at the club and meet some of the old crew like you used to back in the day. And she said I might show up. So then it showed Marvin. He went and the nephew that from last episode that was trying to steal the drugs. He went and pushed up on him basically because he thought he might have gunned down his uncle and them, and he didn't even know that they was dead. And he pretty much told him, hey, go check on their daughter because she's going to need you before she get in the foster system. So it shows Rock goes and see Crystal, pretty much tells Crystal, tell Kanan, I was here to see him. Then from there you had Juke and Kanan having a, cousin moment, and pretty much Juke is pretty much saying I'm back here and my eyes is wide open. Juke, Kanan pretty much was pushing her to do music. She pretty much was like, I'm not for the music. And so they had this dialogue, the small dialogue about Famous. So right now we haven't seen Famous, and it's you can see a lot of videos out there speculating where Famous is at. And this dialogue between the two, Famous is dead at this point. And so they're both saying everybody know Fame got picked up by the police. Everybody think Fame was talking. The only concrete thing Juke pretty much said, Fame wouldn't snitch on you, Kanan. That's when he talk a lot of dumb stuff, but he wouldn't snitch on you. But one key thing Kanan said real quick, and he glossed over. He said Marvin said Famous left town, right? So you heard that part right there, and then you also heard then Juke was looking at Kanan. That's his guy, so she ain't. I think Juke already know that he's dead, but Juke was like, nah, man, Fame is probably somewhere in Cali with his sister and out there messing with the girls and stuff like that. That's what Fame. And then pretty much Kanan was like, yeah, you right, that's Fame right there, because he knew he wasn't gonna be able to take Fame being killed. But I think Juke already know. And honestly, I think Marvin and Lou had something to do with it, because Fame knew too much information. So from there, it shows Marvin meeting up with Early at the car shop. Pretty much gave Early a couple hundred. Pretty much said, yo, let me know if put your ear to the ground, to the streets, and let them know. Let me know if you find out who did that to the couple at the restaurant, the Chinese restaurant or whatever. From there, it went to Lou at his AA meeting. Rock showed up to support him, and he got to tell his heartfelt story about him almost committing suicide in the rehab. He thanked Rock afterwards for showing up, and pretty much they looked at each other and said, what you think, Mom trying to kill us at this meal that she's offering us. So from there, it showed Juke. She showed up to event with her crew, the old crew, bunch of guys. And really, she pretty much said she didn't want to do that, stealing and stuff no more. She's grown past that, and she don't want to move backwards. She want to move forward. She pretty much told them, "Hey, I want to go to the bathroom." When she went, act like she was going to the bathroom, she just dipped right out the club. Now, what she did she walked into an alternative club for people that's same sex, that's in the same sex relationships. So she was sitting out front of the club. She was kind of curious. And then an older woman named Mara came, and she came in and told Juke, I stood here for a while too, and then I finally come in. So she pretty much told Juke to come in with me. Now, keep in mind, Juke is like 18, 19. Mara is an older woman, so I think Mara is getting ready to be the person who turned Juke out. And of course, she goes in there with Mara, and she gets to see the same sex relationships in there. And she pretty much was like, this is more me. This is people that's just like me or into things that I'm into. So I can be accepted here and I don't have to feel awkward. So it's just showing the Juke's evolution and embracing her, um, what she's into, and really standing on what she's into or whatever. So we see how that's going to. But I think Mara's going to turn her out. She's older, and Mara's going to turn her out. So from there, it shows Unique showing up to Early, giving him the money that he said that he owed him. Early was like, "Well, now where you get this money from?" So that's confirming to Early that Unique was behind that restaurant situation. So he pretty much told Neek like, "Yo, you didn't go do that to them, them the people at the restaurant, did you?" And then Unique ain't say nothing really, and he pretty much told Unique, "You playing with fire." And Unique was pretty much like, I am fire. I'm gonna burn this whole thing down. So Marvin put a contact in it Early and pretty much told him contact his peoples to find Amber, which was Gerald's daughter that went into the foster home. And so she pretty much got picked up by a foster family. He went to see her, gave her a phone, gave her some money, and pretty much told her, if she need him, reach out to him, call him. So it just shows the evolution of Marvin, his character switch, his character arc, and everybody's rooting for Marvin. That's why when Marvin finally gets killed or go to jail, it's gonna be heartfelt because everybody gonna be rooting for Marvin. And when we seen what he did with Stefano last week, we know that's gonna come back and haunt him. And Rock did approach him in this episode and let him know that she knew that the feds, just telling him, "Hey, the feds seen you go and talk to Stefano," and just letting them know like they know it's you, they know it's all of us. And Marvin pretty much said they lying and they not paying attention to us, or they don't, they ain't know who it was. So Rock was like, "No, they do know us. They seen you going there with Stefano." Basically just telling them, "Watch up, man. Watch yourself." So while Rock was at one of her spots, Quan shows up. Quan pretty much said, "Yo, my people is scared because they feel like they getting like he said, my wife's cousin is dead. And what you gonna do about it?" Rock says it's gonna take a minute. "Hey, listen, we can't just rush and just go clip somebody and we don't know the full truth or know who's full behind it. Makes us look weak." And so Quan is pretty much like, "Listen, you're taking too long. Everything takes long with you," and pretty much told Rock she's replaceable. So I know Rock is tired of him. I've been saying this. She needs a new connect. So she does go see Joaquin, looking for Joaquin. Joaquin said he doesn't want to deal any drugs in Queens because it's too much of a risk, too much of a hassle. He pretty much told her, "You need to reach out to Tremont. They down in DC. They got a new connect." But of course, Tremont and them screw rocking them over. So it's gonna be friction there. But Marvin is more like, but we need a new connect. So meanwhile, you had Kanan and Crystal go to different places, different apartments. Crystal convinced him to go look at different apartments. One of the apartments they went into, because Kanan wasn't really feeling it. He's like, man, I'm happy where I'm at. One of the apartments they went to, as soon as the guy came in and seen that they were black or young, whichever you want to say, he pretty much said he already then found somebody else. So that rubbed Kanan the wrong way. So when they seen the last apartment, Kanan was like, yeah, this is it. And the guy was pretty much like, hey, I need to do an application check. And Kanan was like, listen, I'll pay you a security deposit and 3 months rent up front. And the guy pretty much was like, And so then Crystal stepped in and Crystal was like, pretty much, we'll let you keep the security deposit. And then the guy was like, you pretty much, you're gonna like this area. So they got the apartment. So that's a good smart move. Kanan listening to Crystal to get another apartment. So from there it shows Unique looking at Pernessa at night, tucking in their son and showing him stocking the envelope with money, him putting the envelope into the mailbox and ringing the doorbell, rolling off. So then from there it shows the dinner with the Thomas family. Shows the grandma pretty much mentioning each talking to Lou, telling Lou basically stay strong, keep fighting, and God wouldn't because he said he can't be around alcohol right now, and she pretty much said, you'll get through it. She went to Juke, told Juke, Juke gotta push forward and don't sit around, just get to it, and then got to Rock, and pretty much Rock was like, listen, what you got us here for? And she told him she had cancer. And they pretty much was, heartfelt. Rock got upset and said, you pushed us around, told us we wasn't nothing our whole life, and here you go, think you going to clear it up with a meal? And she's like, I'm out of here. And then she looked over at Kane and was like, what you knew? And then she was pissed off, so she left. So, and Juke, before a time when they were just talking amongst each other, said, you think Grandma married? So Juke picks up, just showing Juke pay attention to detail and picks up a lot. And so it didn't show the lawyer from last week when Unique killed the lawyer. It didn't show, his body being discovered, but it did show that Brock was calling her lawyer, reaching out to him, but of course he did, so she don't know that yet. So the episode pretty much ended with the kid we met last week with Kanan. His name was OC. That was good with numbers and everything like that. He was trusted by Kanan. I don't know why he let a little kid like that, even though he was trusted with numbers, but let him be able to have access. He trusted him enough to have access to go into Kanan's apartment or whatever. So Unique waited till OC was going in there by himself. OC went in there, and when he went in there, Unique pushed him to the ground, and it pretty much shows him looking around. I guess he's trying to figure out what's Kanan's operation, how Kanan's running the operation. And so this brings another question. If Unique's going to be Breeze, and once he sees Kanan's operation, Kanan got all the young boys running for him right now, all over the city running packages. So by Unique seeing him, the way Kanan is running this operation, this is how he gonna tap in to take Kanan's business or merge with Kanan with the business. And this is where you could get the introduction where Unique becomes Breeze and he meets Ghost and Tommy. This could be the intro, but There are rumors online that the kid OC goes missing, and Kanan um, goes on a rampage looking for him. Now, the thing that's awkward moment is that I can't see Unique killing OC and then Kanan being cool with that. And another thing, Unique is doing too much. I don't know why they wrote his character in that fashion where he's just causing all this havoc. Y'all could have just killed him off, and you was better off creating a whole new character. So why bring him back? He has to be Breeze, right? That's what everybody said. He has to be Breeze because you brought him back. Why bring him back? You just could have killed his character off. So nevertheless, that was the episode. Decent episode. Didn't show too much or do too much. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.